What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and listen to Representative Cartwright. He's going to be talking about Social Security reform and a Social Security increase. He is going to show his support for the Social Security 2100 Act. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so we had a really good time last night. We did a live stream. Every Thursday, I'm doing live streams at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you guys come by and just say hello. And we're just talking about headline news of the week. So it's you know, it's not just about Social Security, but it's about a lot of different topics that are out there. So, and you guys let me know what you guys want to hear about. So last night we talked about a few different things and just had a really good time. So this is I like doing live streams because it gives me an opportunity to talk with you guys live. And it's not, I'm not looking at the comments and replying to comments. I actually get an opportunity to look at the chat while I'm doing a live stream. And that gives me, it's instant. So I can go back and forth with you guys, ask questions and all that. And so I really enjoy doing live streams. And so my plan is to continue doing those every Thursday. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to this video. So Representative Cartwright is going to be talking about Social Security reform. Here we go.
I thank you, Mr. Larson. Mr. Larson, will you yield for a quick question? It's my recollection, I could be wrong, but I think it was in the year 2014 that you first came out with Social Security 2100. Am I correct in that?
That is correct.
So here we are, 10 years on. I want you to know I was an original co-sponsor of that in 2014, and I'm proud to do it. And thank you for dreaming this whole idea up, because it's so important. We know that it's the retirement of the baby boom generation, this glut of population going into retirement, that's the problem. We know that 2035 is the current doomsday year when we're not able to pay 100 cents on the dollar on claims. We know that it's not a surprise that this has been coming because we knew about the baby boom generation, and that's why you came up with this 10 years ago, because it's not a surprise, and we have to prepare for it. Mr. Speaker, I speak here on behalf not of myself, but of 176,000 beneficiaries of Social Security in my congressional district in northeastern Pennsylvania. The vast majority are seniors, and the answer is we can't do nothing. We know what happens if we do nothing and we just get closer and closer to the 2035 cliff or whatever year it's going to be. I'm sorry to say that if we do nothing, we end up with the Republican answer. And the Republican answer again and again and again is cut benefits and raise the retirement age. That's what happens if we do nothing. Cut benefits? Cut benefits. This is a program that is one of the most successful government programs. It's not even a government program. It's an insurance program. It's one of the most successful things that government has done for American citizens in the history of our republic. We have kept millions of people from dying in poverty as seniors in this country. We know that right now, in excess of 30% of seniors receiving Social Security benefits have no other visible source of support. So you take it away from them, and they will die in poverty. We know that probably the most outrageous thing of all is it breaks a promise if you cut benefits. The promise was that you work your whole life, you pay in the premiums in your FICA, you pay in your whole work life, and you will be protected from poverty in your senior years. This would break the promise to cut the benefits. Raising the retirement age, it's already been described as a cut. It is a cut. It's a change. All of a sudden, you have to work longer and longer and longer. To those of us who fly desks for a living, that's not that big a problem. But there are people who have to lift and carry and climb and dig. And to make them do these things into their senior years just because we refuse to do anything about this impending fiscal cliff, it's not right, it's not ethical, and it's not American. And every time you hear the words fiscal commission, oh, we should have a fiscal commission, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands on your wallets when you hear those words, fiscal commissions, because that's all they ever have proposed with fiscal commissions, cutting benefits and raising the retirement age. The right answer is Social Security 2100. We have to adjust the cap so it makes sense, so that it's egalitarian, so that all Americans are included, so that we can raise the benefits by 2% the first time in over 50 years. We have to adjust this cap. We have to pass this bill. We have to put people over politics and protect Social Security. Mr. Larson, I yield back to you.
Okay, so that was Representative Cartwright talking about Social Security reform and the reason why this needs to happen. Now, he's saying something that I actually said, and I said this a few months ago as far as Social Security reform goes. You do have some politicians that don't want to address this. They want to just wait until the 11th hour. They want to wait 10 years to look at this. Because if you get to that point where we're looking down the barrel of Social Security, the trust fund completely running out of money, then something drastic needs to happen. And so these politicians will start saying, well, we have to make cuts because we don't have any other options. Even though we know 10 years from now, the trust fund will run out of money. We know that right now. But instead of addressing it right now, some politicians don't want to address it at all. They want to wait until that 11th hour, and they're going to say, you know what? We're going to see across the board 23% cut, so we're going to have to make cuts, but we won't make it 23%. Maybe we'll make it 15% or 20%. And then the American people will look at it and say, okay, well, at least they're saving us so we don't have to pay that, we don't have to lose the full 23%, but we can address it right now and no one has to lose. And that's the problem with Congress right now. Congress will sit on their hands and wait until the last minute to do anything. Even when we have the evidence, even when we know what's going on, they'll still wait till the last minute. And so that's why I'm glad that we're seeing some of these lawmakers come out and talk about this, and hopefully they'll keep talking about this, and hopefully the American people will come on board with this and start questioning their lawmakers. Because if you start questioning your lawmakers, some of these lawmakers that don't want to do anything, if you start asking them those tough questions, when are you going to reform Social Security? You start asking them those questions, and guess what? They're going to have to respond, especially during an election year. They have to respond, because if they don't have a response, guess what? That's going to look bad on them. So they're going to have to say something. But whatever they say, if they say, okay, yeah, we're working on reforming Social Security, you need to follow up with them. You need to hold them accountable for what they're saying. Because you can't just take, okay, well, yeah, they said they're just going to say that they want to reform Social Security and not do anything. That's because you have to hold them to it. If you're in a job and you have a boss and your boss asks you a question about doing something, asks you, did you do this task that I asked you to do? No, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay. What is that boss going to do maybe a week later or 2 weeks later? They're going to follow up. But we don't follow up. We just complain. So we're talking about Social Security reform, and then we don't follow up. We don't ask them that question again. Why haven't you done it? We don't ask any of those questions. And so a politician, just like an employee, would say, well, I guess the boss doesn't care, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to continue to just sit on my hands until I have to do it. And that's what we're looking at right now with Congress. They're going to sit on their hands until they're forced to actually make a tough decision. And that tough decision, I've said this many a times, the tough decision is you're going to have to raise the payroll tax or the payroll contribution. Okay? You're going to have to do that. That's the only way you're going to be able to bring in revenue in order to continue to protect Social Security and continue to have Social Security for people for years. I think they said right now, Social Security 2100 should extend it until 2066 or something like that. So that's what has to happen. But lawmakers don't want to talk about that because they don't want to talk about raising taxes. Even though this is a contribution, right? We're all paying into a contribution. You work, you pay into a contribution. When you retire, you're able to get that contribution back and then some, because you'll be able to get Social Security for the rest of your life. That's the way that it works. But lawmakers don't want to talk about that because they don't want to talk about, oh, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. Sometimes you have to pay a little bit more. We have to face the reality. I would rather pay 1 or 2% more right now than have to look at retiring when I get to the age of retirement, 66 or 67, and then find out, guess what? We're going to have to cut your Social Security benefits by 23%. I would rather pay that 1% or 2% now. So I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.
This Congress can't pass gas, and he needs to run against a do-nothing Congress. And I think that can give them some traction that he did not have before. But, you know, maybe they could get Rudy Giuliani to be Speaker. We know he can pass gas for sure. But this is almost comical.